Hello, everyone, and welcome to the back to school season that August greets us all with. My name is Ryan Bleth. I am a chemistry teacher at Legacy High School in Bismarck, and I'm here today on behalf of the North Dakota Science Teachers Association, where I am honored to serve as treasurer, and here to just to kind of give you a little more personal invitation to the upcoming fall conference, which is happening October 24th on Saturday at Valley City State University. I want to tell you a little bit about that conference and give you a little bit of encouragement as to maybe why you should consider coming and presenting at that conference as well. So first of all, just really quickly, this is my 26th year of teaching this fall, and I've been involved with NDSTA since I was a college student at NDSU years and years ago. I went to my first spring conference in Grand Forks and was greeted there by some veteran teachers at the time. And from the very beginning felt very welcomed and supported by the NDSTA. Since then, I've served almost all those years in the capacity of treasurer and have been part of many fall conferences as well as some spring conferences over the years. We haven't had a fall conference for quite some time, but I've been part of conferences and planning of those events for quite a while and presenting in those places as well. And we're coming out of a bit of dormancy. Those of you who've been part of NDSTA in the past know that we haven't had a conference for quite a long time. Some of you have never heard of NDSTA. Maybe you've heard of it but never had a chance to be involved. We haven't had a spring conference in quite a long time, and we're not going to start this year probably with a spring conference right out of the gate either. So we're starting with a smaller fall event just to kind of get things going at the time of the year when a lot of teachers are trying to establish the year a bit more, where there's more new teachers still kind of trying to find their way, and where there's maybe a bit more energy for all of us to get out and be part of an event like this. And so we're starting out with a fall conference, a one-day event, a little bit smaller than our usual two-day conferences. Our coming out of dormancy, we sort of went idle during the COVID pandemic and haven't quite bounced back from that. And this summer, the board members, those of us who are still around and teaching, got an email from Jason Waskowitz down in Bowman, encouraging us to sort of rekindle this thing. And Jason's part of the conference planning committee for this year, and encouraged all of us to sort of remember the things that NDSTA can do. And primarily, I think at the heart of that is reestablishing for the state the network of science teachers across the entirety of North Dakota, and especially in encouraging, supporting, and nurturing along some of those new teachers in science. As all of us know, there are fewer and fewer science teachers available every year. There are more retiring than there are replacing them, and so there's not as many applicants for jobs. There's not as many teachers sticking around for 26 or more years, like I and some of you have. It very quickly happens that we're the oldest folks in the profession in the state. And the younger folks, some of you are listening, we want you to stick around. We want you to discover what's great about this job. We want you to understand what's kept a lot of us here for a long, long time. And if you don't have a big science department, maybe you're the entire science department at your school, doing that is difficult. Keeping yourselves positive, encouraging yourself isn't always easy. And having someone to bounce questions off of isn't as simple as going down the hall as it is for me. And so being able to kind of create that network and grow that network for those younger teachers requires two simple things. One, it requires that we get the newer teachers to come to the conferences that the NDSTA puts on and into our events. But secondly, obviously, it involves us veteran teachers getting there too. And so if you're one of those veteran teachers and you're thinking, I've got things pretty well run, like a well-oiled machine, congratulations. I'm 26 years in. I don't feel that way yet. But maybe you're even close to retirement and you're thinking, I haven't got anything else that I need to add. I'm good. I've got what I need. And you may be right. But all the more reason, of course, to get to a conference, spring or fall event here, and be part of networking to the newer generation, the younger folks, and passing along that knowledge that honestly somebody passed along to each of us as well. And so just to come and be part of that conference and be there as an attendee and be there ideally as a presenter as well. So the format, just a little bit about this year's conference. It's a one-day event. It'll be Saturday, the 24th of October in Valley City at the university. We've got some great support from the folks at Valley City State. Lindsay Keeker is our lead person there, and our lead contact, and she's a jacked young teacher there at Valley City State who I've gotten to know over the last several years, and is very excited to have us there. The university has been very welcoming in every way, and so we're excited to be there. We've had conferences there before, and looking forward to being back there again. It'll be a one-day event. We'll have sort of a morning welcome, light breakfast things available there if you didn't eat at a hotel or locally somewhere else. to check in around 8:30, start sessions around 9 o'clock. Have sessions throughout the day, and then wrapping up about 4 so folks can have time to travel back home, wherever that might be. Our plan for that day, our hope for that day, is to have sessions going each hour, and covering the main subject areas. So, life sciences, physical sciences, maybe some of the more earth, environmental, space sort of sciences, as much as we're able to with the conference presenters that we have apply. And that's where you come in, of course, not only attending, but presenting a simple session or even co-presenting a session with someone. They're only going to be about 45 minutes long with some travel time, and the parking lot time that happens after each session like this, where you want to stop and talk with each other and the presenter about ideas you have and maybe get a few more questions asked and answered. The conference is just a one-day deal. It'll involve lunch. It'll include lunch. And right there on campus, it'll be a good lunch from the catering folks at Valley City State. The cost to attend the conference is only $10. $10. And the reason for that is that we're trying to encourage folks to come back and have no barriers to coming back. We don't want there to be a big cost burden. If your district isn't willing to front the registration money, we want to make it pretty painless for you. $10, mostly just to help us out with the lunch costs and to get your registration sort of nailed down on our end, so we've got you on record and we know who's coming and we know how many people to plan for. We're going to have a Friday night conference social. It'll be there in town at the Brockop Brewing locations downtown, not far from the university as well. There's a hotel block reserved, and we'll send you information about that if you want to stay in Valley City. You can certainly do that. And as far as membership and that sort of thing goes, right now we're not taking membership fees. It doesn't require that you be a member of NDSTA. Frankly, there's very few people who've kept memberships current through the last several years of the pandemic and our dormancy. And so we're not worried about membership right now. We need to get the embers burning again and get everyone who's a science teacher in the state to consider getting to our conference, being part of our conference. And we don't need to worry about who's a member and who's not. We'll take care of that some other day and evaluate that as the board and as a community of science teachers in the state as to what that needs to look like. Membership dues have never been significant dollar-wise, and the organization at this point doesn't need to collect membership dues to be financially sort of sustainable for the time being. And so we're not going to worry about that right now. So $10, some gas to get there. It's plenty expensive, as we all know. But carpool, group up with some folks, make the trip. We're going to do our darndest to make it worth your while. And then, of course, if you're willing to present a session, we'd love to have you do that too. There's links available for both attendees and presenters. And you can submit sort of an idea for what you'd like your session to be. And we'd like to, as a planning committee, sort of fill in the cracks of what's not being offered so that there's something there for everybody. We'd love to have some K through 12 options available, so all different levels. If you're willing to present at different levels and you've got some ideas, maybe you can just reach out to one of us. As far as the conference sessions go, Lindsay is your connection at Valley City State, and I'll have her email address is available on the website. And then as far as attendee questions go, Emily Schaefer up in Glenburn is our contact there, and is the person to maybe ask about some of that. I just want to make a personal sort of plea to you, really. It's been a long 26 years. I love what I do. And from the very beginning, I was supported by great teachers in this state. I'll never forget walking into my first session, my first conference, and seeing Mike Kelly, who was a teacher in Minot for the longest time. His daughter's still on our board, Elizabeth, these days, and being greeted by Mike Kelly and others at that meeting as if we were part of the family already, because they felt that we were. And in those early years, when I was teaching at Bismarck High School, I had great colleagues there, most of whom have retired, some of whom are still around there. But Larry Cook was a man who taught at Bismarck High when I was there and taught there for many, many years. Larry taught for 46 years, and he just recently passed away. Those of us who knew Larry, many of you did. A lot of us here in Bismarck felt that loss pretty deeply. We just had services for Larry into last week. And it was a great back-to-school reminder of why we do what we do, the passion that we all bring to what we do. It's hard to match Larry's passion, honestly. But the way that he cared for every single student as if they were the only person in front of him every single day is a great reminder for me as I head back to my classroom. But Larry was a big part of NDSTA. Larry came and presented passionately about physics. He loved physics. He would present a whole day on physics if we asked him to, and I think often did. And Larry would be thrilled that we were getting this conference up and going again. Larry would be there to sign up and present and attend and network and support everybody he met if he was still with us. And so I'm kind of personally putting a lot of my heart into my memories of Larry and what he did for my career, getting me started, along with many other great people in the early parts of my career and along the way since. I'm trying to put a lot of him into my heart this year as I encounter students and colleagues, and including this conference this year. And if you didn't know Larry, come and maybe glimpse a little bit of that network passion that we can all bring to each other, the way we can support each other the way that Larry did. If you knew Larry, hey, come present a session in memory of him. That would be great. We'd love to have you do that. If you have questions about anything, whether it's attending, presenting, or otherwise, please reach out to us. Again, Lindsay, Emily, myself, probably the three first line to go to with questions, and we hope to help you out. We'd love to see you at the conference, and hope you have a great school year. And again, October 24th, Valley City. Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you at the conference here in a couple of months.